So I want to welcome everyone back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about some of the alternative strikers we can be looking at. You've all seen it in the news recently where, you know, the relationships between Gyökeres and Sporting have broken down. And, that could affect, how fast the transfer can happen and if the transfer is going to happen at all. Sporting could turn around and say they're not selling him. So with that, in the air, it's time to start looking at other strikers. And I've made this video today to kind of see, what other alternatives are there because, there's a very good chance Gyökeres isn't going to move this season and we're not going to get our man. So we can get right into this. And if I could just please ask if you guys could just like and subscribe, it goes a long way. But yeah, so one of the strikers we can first talk about, who I think I'm very confused but not looking at, is Jonathan David. Now he plays for Lille. A lot of you have probably heard of him as well, but he's had quite a good season. He's got 25 goals and 9 assists from in all domestic competitions this season. He is available on a free transfer. That's right, a free transfer. So imagine that instead of spending 50, 60 million on a striker, we can go get a striker for free and then go spend in other areas which we might need, like the midfield, to pair someone up with Bruno Fernandes because we all know how that midfield went this season as well, or a extra defender or a keeper. I don't know. The benefit of this deal is that we save 50, 60 million. Instead of spending it on a striker, we get a striker who still has a proven track record of scoring goals. He's done it in the Champions League as well. He had seven goals or 9 goals in the Champions League this season. So, he is a prolific striker. It's not like he's bad, but obviously he does have his quirks and, playing in the French league as well. How is that going to translate into the Premier League? But I think 25 goals, 9 assists, that is still a very decent return no matter what league you play in, to be honest. And the fact that he's done it in the Champions League against big teams, you look at the game against Atletico Madrid in like the qualifying stages of the Champions League, 3-1 win. He does have good performances. He racks up quite a few assists as well, which is really, really good to see. And I think suits in an Amram system where, the striker does need to somewhat bring, both the number 10s into play, kind of similar to Gyökeres does as well. So Jonathan David, free transfer, free. No money, no nothing. He's free. So whether United look at him or not, it remains to be seen. I mean, I've seen reports that I think it's Al Halal looking at him. So it remains to be seen whether United do something about it. It is a bit weird how we're looking at all these strikers and you've got Jonathan David there for free, but maybe that's because United know he doesn't want to come to us. We don't have any Champions League football, but he is there. So that remains to be seen. Another one of the strikers I think I could potentially look at as well is Mateta. So even though he's quite old now, so he's 27. This is, you could say, his breakout season where, the whole league is on alert about him now and knows what a good striker he is. 17 goals, 4 assists for him this season as well, which is a decent return, all competitions. Obviously slightly less than Jonathan David, but he is Premier League proven and he does have good performances in them. The benefits is that I think his release clause is around 40 million, so you can get him for somewhat cheap. He only has 2 years remaining on his deal as well, so I'm sure Crystal Palace could accept anything in the region of that as well. So I think, I would personally go for him. Whether United go for him or not, I don't know. The only question is he kind of similar to Xerxes in a way? Now, by no means I'm not saying Xerxes is a better striker than Mateta, but if you look at, I guess, their general play in some instances, Mateta is a very, very technical player for his height, similar to Xerxes. He likes to bring in the other team into play, like Xerxes does as well. So we're gonna have two profiles of the same striker, just one who is more prolific. So I don't know. Do we go for that? Do we not go for that? 40 million seems somewhat fair for him as well. Can he kick on? I know he is 27, but can he kick on? I know United finished 17th, but he's still gonna come into a better team. So maybe his goals and assists improve even more for the team. And just his overall play, I love the way he plays, technical he is again. Just to see tall players when they play like that and just so technical is always wonderful to watch as well. So yeah, I would look at Mateta if Gyökeres isn't gonna come. And as I said, there's a chance it might not happen. Maybe something could happen today and something could materialize today. But as of this moment right now, it just looks like he's got beef with the sporting director. And I guess one other striker I wanted to mention, who this is going to be a bit left field, and a lot of people are probably going to disagree with this anyway, myself included. But when I look at the position we're in and what we can afford and what we can do, unfortunately, this player comes to mind, but Dusan Vlahovic from Juventus. A couple seasons back, we was thinking he was the next big striker coming out of Europe, 70, 80 million price tag. And these last couple of seasons, especially these last 2, 3 seasons, he's completely fell off. He had such good potential and he was doing so good, especially in the Serie A as well. And his goals, assists, it's all fell off. He's got 14 goals and 4 assists in all domestic competitions this season as well, which I mean is okay, I guess. But Serie A striker to Premier League striker, he is quite physical when you look at him and the way he plays as well. But how much is that going to truly translate to the Premier League as well? The only benefit of Vlahovic, I would say, is similar to Jonathan David, is the price tag. 20 million you could probably get him for. With his contract due to expire next season, I'm sure Juventus would be willing to sell him for 15, 20 million. So you can basically get him on the cheap. But is he going to score even double-digit goals for us when we need the goals? The only thing is that he's more of like a plug gap until the season after, where hopefully if we get European football, we can get more money and then bring in a proper striker. Maybe he could just be a stopgap striker just for one season. Go spend, as I said, 20 million on him, cheap option to have, and then you can go spend the rest of the money on the rest of the squad. Because I'm sorry, but we need another midfielder. We need some more. We need another defender, to be honest, as well. It's just for us to finish 17th, and then I understand we're going to sign a completely new attack, but the rest of the team needs it needs redoing. We need to gut the whole team out, and we need a whole new spine of the team. Onana needs to go. We definitely need another centre back because Aiden Heaven and Denier are still young centre backs as well. Maguire, all this hype about Maguire, but let's be honest, he's trash. He's not good enough for United. As a bench player, if he wants to be, yeah, but personally, nah, he should not be starting for Man United. He's never been United quality and never will be. So yeah, I think Vlahovic is there. If you want to go for him, you can get him. You look at Cheeto, he's not going to be ready. There's no way he's going to be ready yet. Next season will be a good way to kind of integrate him into the first team as well, but he needs a experienced striker to lean on. Vlahovic is 25, but I mean, what are the chances he's gonna hit even 15 goals in the Premier League? It's quite low. And a shocking fact that I just realised is that no one in the Premier League in our team got double-digit goals. So that just shows you what type of season we've had. So I think our top scorer Bruno Fernandes with 8 goals, and that's joint with Ahmad. So we've had such a poor season, and the attack especially have just been so poor. So we need goals and we need it fast. And if it means that we have to get strikers who we don't perceive as not that good, but better than Højlund, which is 99% of strikers out there, then so be it. I'd be happy with it. Højlund is trash and he needs to go. He needs to get in the bin. I don't know. There's reports saying he wants to stay and fight his place. He should not be staying and fighting his place. And if Jason Walcott's Ineos, they know what they're doing and they say who they say they are, they'll know to get rid of him. And again, I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, but that story about the Højlund swap with Osimhen, if there was some truth to that and United did have a chance, then I'm ashamed of United. Osimhen, for me, no matter what anyone says about him, and the reason I haven't mentioned him is because of the wages. it's obvious he's asking for quite high wages, but if he's a United fan and we pay Napoli a certain amount, can we get him? Can we get him for 20, 30 mil? Would he agree to, I don't know, 220K, 230K a week, which would still match some of our highest earners in the club? Or would he not? No, so yeah, the reason again Osimhen is just not on the list is because he wants the whatever wages he wants, it's absurd. And there's a reason why Al Hilal can come to terms with him and why no clubs are looking at him. His agent is obviously demanding a lot of money for him, really, really high wages for him. And with United's new wage structure as well that we're trying to follow and trying to implement, there's no way it's gonna happen. Who knows though? Again, you never know with this club. We could turn around and Osimhen, we could be in talks with him and he could say that he's happy to take a lower wage than he wants. And you know, he's a United fan. You can't play in the Premier League. I know we're not in Europe, but you still get to play for the biggest team in the world, which is Man United. You get to be our leading striker, and yeah. So overall, I mean, we'll see how this Gyökeres situation develops. Whether anything's going to happen with it, or whether he's going to continue beefing with the sporting president remains to be seen. But yeah, guys, I mean, I personally, out of all the three options listed, if you had to ask me, I would personally take Jonathan David. For me, again, the whole team needs gotten. We need to spend it in other areas. And instead of spending 50, 60 million on a 27-year-old Gyökeres, 27, he's going to be hard to resell. Go get Jonathan David. You know, he's not going to ask for extremely high wages. Go get him on a free. If it doesn't work out after 2, 3 seasons, you go sell him, and I mean, altogether, you would make a profit. You'd sell him for 15, 20 million, at least in the minimum. Let's say if it doesn't work out and he doesn't turn out to be the striker we all thought he was. But yeah, guys, we'll see what happens, and that's the end of the video. But again, if you could just please like and subscribe in the video. Any developments I get, I'll try and make a video as quick as I can. I'm trying to be a lot more consistent with the uploads. And I'm thinking of maybe doing like a weekly show or something. Again, my uncle's not here, but we do this channel together, so I'll have his at the bottom of you'll see at the bottom of the video. But Sook Makes Sense is his channel, so please go subscribe to him as well. Subscribe to us. And yeah, guys, take care. Peace.